everyone, it's Jenny here and welcome back to my channel. Now today's video is going to be a different video from the normal. This is going to be my second storytime video that I've ever done on this channel. My first ever storytime video was about a stalking experience that I had, and if you're interested in checking out that video, the link to that is down in the description box below. But today I'm going to be talking about my worst cosplay convention experience. Now, for the purpose of this video, I'm not going to name any people in particular. It's all going to be made up names, and the event I'm not going to name because it's an event that I really enjoy going to, and I don't want to make the event seem like a really bad event because it's probably the best convention that I've ever been to. But this little experience that I had with a certain individual kind of ruined my day, I guess, and kind of had me walking away with a bit of taste in my mouth. But today I wanted to talk about this experience because I've had it on my mind for a while, and it kind of made me aware that not everybody in this little community that I'm a part of on YouTube are all daisies and rainbows and glittery things. So it's just to bear in mind that not everything is perfect in the YouTube community, unfortunately. Now, this event that I went to, I usually go to the event every single year. I've actually been there about 4 or 5 times now, and I've also performed there a couple of times on stage as an act, as well as being a participant in the talent contest. Now, this event happened a couple of years ago. I'm not going to name the cosplay convention, but it was a fantastic event that I went to, and I'd love to go again and again and again if I can. But this story actually happened while I was participating in the talent contest. Now, the talent contest was due to happen at about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and just before the talent contest started, me and the other contestants were called to the stage in the little backstage area to prepare and get ready for the show. Now, there was a wide variety of different acts. There was singing, there was dancing, there was some comedy pieces, and everyone was just absolutely fantastic on that day. Now, I've performed in the talent contest a few times in this convention, and in this particular event, I realised that a lot of the other performers it was their first ever time really ever performing at a cosplay convention, so I guess everyone was really nervous. But in general, the atmosphere was very friendly, everyone was very supportive of each other, and it really made me feel a lot more confident to be able to go out on stage and sing and just do what I love to do. But there was one particular contestant that really, I guess, spoiled the mood for me. As we were all about to go on the stage, we were all asking what our talents were, what performances we were doing, and it was just a very great atmosphere. But as the competition continued, I noticed there was a certain girl that kind of had, after I had the experience, I realised she had quite a big ego. And not to say that it's not great to be confident in yourself, but when you're confident in yourself but doing that by tearing others down, that's when it kind of ruins it for me. Now, this girl in particular, I'm not going to name her name, I'm not going to say what she was dressed up as. She had a lot of friends supporting her in the crowd, and so of course there was a lot of cheers for her, and her act was actually pretty amazing. I was quite impressed, but it was just her attitude that ruined it for me. Now, she performed last in the show, and I performed, I guess, about halfway. I think there was about 8 to 10 contestants in the full talent competition, and from the get-go I knew a lot of people were nervous. It was their first time performing, and I was just so excited for them to have the experience of being up on the stage, because it's an amazing stage to perform on. So it was just, I could tell that they were really nervous. Now, as every performer was about to go on the stage, this girl would approach them and say, "Good luck, I hope you do amazing, blah de blah." It really perked the person up, and they went on stage. Now, if it's your first time on stage and you're very nervous, you're prone to make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes in at least one performance in their lifetime, and it's nothing to bash yourself over. It's a learning experience. You can move on and learn from that mistake. But these first time performers would go on stage, and a few mistakes were made, or their nerves kind of got the better of them, and while they were performing, I could hear this same girl really slating them, and I was stood in the corner, not really. I was trying to look like I wasn't paying attention, but I was listening in, and it was really quite disheartening to see somebody just have such a nasty attitude towards other people. I remember there was a girl doing a dance. She missed a few of the moves, but overall she did a really good job, and I was very, very proud of her. She was so happy and excited to have done the performance. She went, I know I've made mistakes, but I've had a really, really good time. And while these people are performing, this girl's slating them really, really badly. You know, I can't remember exactly what she said, but it was just, I can't believe she's up on stage dancing like that. I mean, who does she think she is? Or if anybody was singing, she'd go, they don't know the words, they're singing the Japanese wrong, and that kind of thing. And it was just really disheartening to see. But then when the performer finished their performance, they would go down, and the same girl would go up to them and say, oh my god, you did such a good job, you know, like pretending to be a fangirl. And it was just, it was really, really disgusting to kind of witness. And there was a part of me that really wanted to approach her and say, look, you're just, if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all, just keep your mouth shut. Because I mean, I wasn't the only person nearby. I wasn't sure if any of the people were paying attention to what she was saying, but for me it was kind of, if I was to ever work with you in any kind of YouTube project, I would not want to work with you, because it's so easy to see how two-faced you are. And I was performing about halfway, and I kind of had the feeling she probably might say something, because at the time I wasn't used to the sound system on that stage. It was only my second time performing on that stage, and I was singing in the microphone, but I couldn't hear myself properly, so it was a bit pitchy, and I knew it wasn't my best, but I had a lot of fun performing. And obviously I'd gone off stage, the same girl approached me and said, you did a fantastic job, you were really great, blah blah blah, and I kind of just let it pass over my head, because I thought, I know what you're like, and I'm not really gonna accept your compliment or whatever. There was a part of me that really wanted to say something like, why are you acting like such a nasty person? But it was kind of, I kind of had the feeling that this person knew what she was doing, so I felt like no matter what I said, it wasn't going to be processed and she wasn't going to learn from it. But then it's this bittersweet thing, but she was really, really amazing in her performance, and on her performance alone, she did unfortunately win the contest. Part of me was happy for her because she deserved it. She was the most well-rounded performer on the stage, but at the same time, it's just, you have such a disgusting attitude towards other people that I felt like she really didn't deserve it, whereas other people have plucked up the courage to perform on stage and overcome their fear, and I felt like one of them probably deserved it a lot more. And then obviously the girl had finished. She kind of expected herself to win, so when she did actually win, it was kind of, I was just stood there going, yeah, whatever, you know, she won, it's not surprising. Because it just seems to be an ironic thing that, like, you can be the nicest person ever, but still get a lot of shit through your life, which I kind of find is a very unpleasant thing in this world, but you just gotta be a decent person. And then afterwards, you know, all of the friends were around her, and it was very, very bittersweet, and it was just, I think that was probably the most unfortunate moment that I've ever had in a convention. But apart from that, my experiences at conventions have always been pretty amazing. Sometimes I'm a bit shy, so I don't always approach people, or people might think I'm not approachable, because I've had a few people approach me and ask about my channel and stuff at cosplay conventions, but at the same time I'm quite shy, so I'm probably not the most approachable person, and I do travel quite far across the country. Sometimes I go to conventions on the day, I travel a couple of hours to get there, I'm there for like 6 hours and I'm travelling back. So as much as it's a fun day, it's very, very tiring, but that's my story about my worst cosplay convention experience. It's probably not as bad as other experiences that people have had, but it definitely opened my eye to be aware of what people are like to you face to face, because YouTube, as a community, people can be quite backstabbing and two-faced, so it's always best to have such a tough skin. And I guess from that experience, I guess I was always kind of naive. I always thought the community that I was part of was something that everyone could be involved with, be themselves, and just collaborate and have fun projects. But there are, unfortunately, not everyone, but there are quite a few, I guess, individuals that probably ruin it for everyone else. I unfortunately have come across one of them. But that's just my experience and kind of a lesson for me not to be so naive. Do you have any convention horror stories? Put them down in the comments below, because I quite like hearing about other people's stories. Again, don't let this discourage you from entering any competitions in talent contests, in cosplay conventions, because it really gives you the confidence to be out on stage and just love performing. It's definitely a great platform to start out on. But that is all from me for today. I hope you have a fantastic day or night wherever you are. If you want any more storytime videos, please let me know down in the comments below. I have a few stories that I want to talk about, but it's kind of umming and ahhing about whether I'm confident enough to tell the story, because it took me long enough to tell this one. Thank you guys for watching. It was quite fun making this video. So until I see you in my next video, have a great day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you in my next video.